Alright class A, time to talk about our last topic in our Unit 5A notes, and those are adverbs. Adverbs can modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. They often tell how much, how often, how well, or when. This is an English lesson. We're talking about adverbs in Spanish though, so we need to understand them. They can express place, manner, quantity, time, frequency, and here are just some examples. That's what the EX stands for: aquí, bien, mucho, ayer, nunca, and of course, I want you to fill in what these words mean, if you can, in your notes, and we'll talk about them when we go over them. Here's our main focus though. In English, adverbs often end in ly, and in Spanish, they often end in mente. So therefore, mente equals ly in English. So what does generalmente mean? Generally. What does frecuentemente mean? Frequently. If I have gone too quickly for you to write it down, which I'm sure I have, please press pause and play again when you're ready. I'm moving on. To turn an adjective into an adverb, take the feminine form of the adjective and add mente. So I'm going to say that again. To turn an adjective into an adverb, take the feminine form of the adjective and add mente. So for example, if I'm going to take the adjective tranquilo, which means calm or peaceful, I need to make it feminine, so I'm going to make it tranquila, and then add mente, and it now means calmly or peacefully. What if the adjective doesn't end in the letter O, like in the letters L or E? You just add mente, because it already can describe something that's feminine. So amable, I'm just going to add mente, and I get amablemente, which means nicely. Or fácil, which means easy. Fácilmente means easily. And this fácil brings up another point. If the feminine form of the adjective has an accent, you keep it. See, look, fácil had an accent. I kept it on there. So let's do another one. Rápido, which means quick. And if I want to say quickly, I'm going to take the feminine form. I'm going to make that rápida. Keep the accent. Add mente, and now it means quickly. Or típico, which is typical. I'm going to take the feminine form típica, keep the accent, and add mente, it now means typically. So to sum this up, take the feminine form and add mente. If it ends in an E or an L, just add mente, and if it has an accent, keep it. Other things we should know. There are many Spanish adverbs that don't end in mente, so I don't want you to go around thinking that if it doesn't end in mente, it's not an adverb. It's just one way that adverbs end. Another thing you should know is that some adjectives cannot be turned into adverbs with mente. For example, adjectives of origin and nationality, or those that describe physical characteristics, cannot. So, for example, alto is tall. I'm not going to say altamente, tally. That's not really a word in English. Or español means Spanish. I'm not going to say españolamente. So those don't work. Another thing that your book likes you to know is that when you're using a sequence of 2 or more adverbs, follow this rule. Take the feminine form of all of them, but only add mente to the last. So, Paco se afeita lenta y cuidadosamente. I didn't say lentamente y cuidadosamente. I just said lenta y cuidadosamente. When in doubt, add the mente. It's just a more advanced thing that you should know. But go ahead and translate that sentence here because it uses vocab. And then I'm going to show you what lento and cuidadoso mean. So if you have to, star this and don't forget to come back because I want you to translate this in your notes, and I'll check for that for credit. Speaking of finishing your notes for credit, what else do you need? You need a little bit of practice. Your book is going to throw around a couple of words and expect you to know what they are. So on like your workbook or your quiz or something, you need to recognize these words. Lento is one of them, and that was in our previous sentence. Lento means slow. So if I want to turn that into an adverb, I'm going to make this feminine, lenta, add mente. get lentamente, and what does that mean in English? Slowly. So here are a list of adjectives here and what they mean. And I expect you to write down the Spanish adverb form of them and then what they mean in English to complete your notes. And that's it. You've learned some adverbs and how to turn adjectives into adverbs. Good job.